Hi everyone, welcome to Chapter 9. In this chapter, we're going to be dealing with unemployment and inflation. I think this is one of the most important concepts that we focus on in macroeconomics, given the importance of unemployment and how it influences our daily lives. When you look at the unemployment rate, you're noticing that we need to measure unemployment. There are more than 300 million people in the United States, and monitoring and reporting on their activities regularly would be very difficult and costly. So we have to figure a way to estimate the labor force. The labor force is going to include people that are employed and unemployed in our economy. The most watched number probably, and the number that people know the most, is the unemployment rate. This is the percentage of the labor force that is unemployed, not of the adult population. So now, to be classified as employed, you have to be working at least 1 hour a week, which is not a lot of hours. So anyone that's unemployed is anyone that's 16 years or older who's actively seeking a job. If you're neither of those, then you're not in the labor force. Now, let's look right here. Here's how many people we have in the working age population, about 246 million people. Out of that, 156 million are in the labor force, 145 million are employed, and about 11 million are unemployed. So now, out of the 246 million people, only 11 million people are unemployed, which is a very small amount. There's about 90 million people not in the labor force, about 84 million people that are full-time students, homemakers, retirees, 6 million people that are available for work but not currently working, 1 million people that are discouraged, and a discouraged worker is someone that has been looking for work for long periods of time but just can't find a job. And eventually they get sick of waiting to find a job and they just quit looking. And then we have about 5 million people that are not currently working because of child care responsibilities or transportation. So that gives you basically an outline of the working adult population and where everyone is classified as. So how do we calculate the unemployment rate? So we have 155.5 million people and 11.3 are unemployed. So 11.3 over 155.5 gives us 7.3%. So that means 7.3% of the labor force is unemployed. Now, then we can look at what's called the labor force participation rate, which is looking at how many individuals that are employed out of the adult population are actually working. So we have about 63% of the adult population as participating in the labor force, which is a large amount, but the amount has decreased since the past. So now, look at here, when we look at the unemployment rate, and we're going to look at what occurs during a recession right here. This is when a recession occurred. You'll notice these shaded areas. You'll notice that the unemployment rate has always spiked during these recessions. Okay, and just focus on this red line here. Here's another recession. Unemployment rate spike. That's one of the implications of a recession. Higher unemployment, which creates a lot of challenges in an economy. So now, this is looking at the labor force participation rate. As you can see from this rate, there's been a lot of trends in our economy. And one of the trends is a lot of men are starting to decline in participating in the labor force, whereas there's more women been participating since the 40s. So this has been a very interesting trend to evaluate, and it's one that we might see in the future get even where women might be participating more than men. And one of the challenges we're facing is women have to work nowadays, and compared to the one income household family in the 50s, we cannot survive on one income now. So that's why you see more women in the workforce. They're having to support the family more with financial support rather than stay at home with the children, which has created a lot of different challenges. So here's some of the things that you're going to look at for Chapter 9, but I look forward to your effort.